Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan battle video. In this video we are going to take a look at the AGL Dokkan Fest exclusive Captain Ginyu. So obviously if you didn't watch my summon video or my save or summon video, I managed to get Captain Ginyu on a Xeno summon, which is pretty awesome. I haven't got a new DFE in a while, and Captain Ginyu looks really good, so I'm super excited to get him. And yeah, let's just take a look at how good he is actually. So in terms of leader skill, he's Terrifying Conquerors or Planet Namek Saga category, 170%. Planet Namek Saga obviously already had a pretty strong lead in the form of Frieza, but getting a second one is not such a bad call. The Terrifying Conquerors is actually really good, and both of these teams have pretty great synergy with Space Traveling Warriors. Terrifying Conquerors has a lot of really strong Space Traveling Warriors. Terrifying Conquerors as a team is just very powerful, and honestly with a lead like Ginyu, it's just going to stay a very powerful category. So Ginyu is really awesome from that perspective. His passive is 180% attack and defense with an additional attack of 50% when performing a super attack, and he launches an additional attack that has a medium chance of becoming a super attack. He also has 10% attack and defense per Ginyu Force category ally on the team, up to 50%, and he gives Ginyu Force category allies attack and defense of 30%. He also has attacks effective against all types when there is another Ginyu Force category ally on the team. So his active skill, he can perform when HP is 70% or less, starting from the 4th turn. His super attack effect is that he raises defense, and his link skills are Frieza's Army, Gentleman, Respect, the Ginyu Force, Loyalty, and Signature Pose. All of them pretty strong link sets. When you exchange him, he turns into Captain Ginyu Goku, basically, and he recovers 59% HP. He has attack and defense of 200%, with an additional attack of 50% when performing a super attack. He launches an additional attack that has medium chance of becoming a super attack, plus has an additional attack and defense of 10% up to 50%, and a chance of performing a critical hit and evading enemy's attack, including super attack with 10%, with each attack performed, both up to a max of 50. He has a high chance of foreseeing enemies' super attacks when there's an ally whose name includes Jace on the team. Now, obviously, right off the bat, his first form, very strong. It may seem slightly restricted that he needs Ginyu Force members to reach his full potential, but that completely falls away once you transform him. When you transform him, super duper powerful offensively, gaining evasion, gaining critical hits. He can no longer stack defense, but he can raise his attack. So it's a more offensive switch, plus you can use the heal. Both have a matching link set, which means that they link well with their own partners, and when you transform one Ginyu, you can actually just link them with each other, which is pretty nuts overall. You would think that having a Jace on your team is difficult, but with the new Jace and Berta unit, you have a pretty perfect linking partner, or at least 5 links with Ginyu, plus they have a great passive and they're super strong. Also, the Ginyu Force team got 2 new strong members in the form of Raccoon and Gildo, and Jace and Berta, and it got the easy A to the physical LR Ginyu. So running Ginyu Force members on a Terrifying Conquerors or Planet Namek Saga team has never been easier than now. And if you run double Ginyu lead, you basically already achieve almost his full passive for his first form. So that's pretty good right off the bat for Ginyu, and we're going to see that kind of displayed in his teams. The first team we're running is like a full Ginyu Force team, and then the second team we're running is not a full Ginyu Force team, just so we can get a look at how well he does on a less Ginyu Force centric team. And you can see right away, 3.7 million, this is a 55% unit by the way, so 3.7 million, and he stacks defense ridiculously quickly. So this is a friend one, which has a dupe in them, so 224,000 defense for this one, which is pretty nuts. If you think about it, it is pretty crazy. Like when you think about how high that starting defense is already before stacking. Not to mention Ginyu already has built-in additionals, so you can go the crit route, but because of the way he functions as a unit, I highly suggest going additionals. 5.2 million by the way. I highly suggest going additionals because additionals really help out Ginyu. One, because he can fire double supers, and he'll stack defense so quickly, it's insane. And then when he actually transforms into his second form, having the additionals will allow him to engage and activate his 50% crit chance quite easily. You could get it within 2 turns. So within 2 turns of using Ginyu, after his second turn of firing super attacks, he could very easily already have a 50% crit chance, and he could already have 50% evasion. So for me, it just seems like a waste to give him that crit when he could very easily ramp himself up. Not to mention, you want the first form to stack defense as quickly as possible, so when you transform into the second form, he has high defense for the remainder of whatever battle you're in. But Ginyu hits very hard. Already you can see just how hard Ginyu hits in this team. Like, these numbers for a 55% unit are insane. Not to mention, his links really do gain quite a bit from leveling. They are a very strong link set. If you look at how much they change from link leveling, they get very strong very quickly. Gentleman goes from 2 key to 2 key and 10 defense. The spec goes from 15% attack to 20%. The Ginyu Force gains a whole 5% crit chance, which is another reason why you don't need to kind of run this guy with a crit build. Frieza's army gives him 10% attack, loyalty reduces damage received by 5%, 7% attack from signature pose, and another 5% attack from fierce battle. You can really just augment everything. That 5% damage reduction is just going to aid him even more. Now, another crucial thing is, as I mentioned before, you can actually exchange Ginyu into Ginyu Goku and then link him with himself, which is very good. So you can stack with 2 Ginyus for as long as you want. With the unit, you can just keep stacking, and then eventually you can just exchange one of them, and you have the perfect pair for any long form event. It actually makes like long form events with Ginyu insanely easy, because you can just run one that constantly stacks defense so quickly, he just heals you outright, and then you have one that's just exploding off with 50% crits, 50% evasion, and they link so well together. It's insane how well that combination can really do. So yeah, Ginyu's got a lot of versatility within himself, which I think is something they planned for. Like, one of the biggest issues or that I can see usually when we bring out units like this, and an example I'll use is Tech Janemba. Tech Janemba is a cool unit. I have nothing wrong with Tech Janemba. The problem is Tech Janemba's base form has no good linking partners. So you bring out a unit like Tech Janemba that's so interesting in design, yet he has no one to really function off of. So running his team under both leads, running double corroded body and mind Janembas, kind of almost detonates Janemba. Because you need to transform Tech Janemba, but transforming Tech Janemba brings him to his weaker form. Technically with his weaker defensive form, I should say. Technically with Ginyu, it's a similar effect. Now with Ginyu, the ball is completely changed, because Ginyu himself now has so much more to bring to the table with himself. So you can bring Ginyu and he can link with himself, whereas the transformed form of Tech Janemba can't link with the base form of Tech Janemba. So you have to have another Janemba in your team for him to link with. So you need to run 2 Janembas. So you need to run like Strength Janemba and in Janemba with double Tech Janembas, or you have to run Tech Janemba with Physical Janemba, which is fine because Physical Janemba is a very powerful unit. But it is interesting to note that from that perspective, Ginyu doesn't have that problem, because Ginyu can really just boss things with himself. He can run with himself, he can float with himself, he can support himself, you can stick a unit in between him. The issue is obviously that he doesn't link well with other units. Yeah, basically he links well with Ginyu Force units, because all Ginyu Force units have signature pose. There's a lot of them that have Frieza's army, they have Ginyu Force, so they give him a lot. You know, signature pose is a 3-key link, it's pretty powerful from that perspective. Gentleman is an uncommon link, him and Perfect Cell have it. It's not incredibly common as a link, and so yes, it is difficult to technically link up Ginyu, but all you need is the other Ginyu. all you need is a friend Ginyu and bam, he's a fully usable unit. He's going to bust out. He's going to do crazy numbers. Yes, it may require you to transform the other one early, but it is a possibility, and I think that's something that's very good with their design. I think overall that facet of the design of Ginyu that they did was very clever, because I think it really just shows that they really thought ahead. You know, they really made a interesting unit from that perspective. So yeah, Ginyu, really cool. We're obviously going to talk about his link set overall, but yeah, I think, you know, Ginyu is a great unit. He does a lot of good work. If you've got Ginyu, you can use him in a lot of things with his team. Obviously, it's nice, I think, that they have Corroded Body and Mind as a category, because I think that team really needed a buff, and having a strong unit like Ginyu is very good for that team. It's just a bit unfortunate that he doesn't necessarily have like a crazy link partner on that team, but even then he's still going to be so good on that team, like just as himself, that he's basically going to be pretty strong. Like he'll be pretty nuts just in general. So really awesome stuff. I think in terms of his link set, obviously, to be blunt, he doesn't really have a super accessible key link. He's got Signature Pose, which is a strong key link, but it's only held by Signature Pose units, you know. It's held by Great Saiyamans and Ginyu Force units. He's got Gentleman, which also decently strong link, relatively powerful, but again, only really him and Perfect Cell units. And he's got Loyalty, which again is a strong link, but realistically is only like Dabura and some members of the Ginyu Force and like Zarbon and Dodoria and things like that. So his link set from a key perspective is quite difficult to kind of organize and get together. From an offensive perspective, it's majority Ginyu Force again. You know, the Ginyu Force is his biggest attack link. Respect is his biggest attack link, and it's not very common at all. It's like basically only Ginyu units that have it. Frieza's army is a great attack and defense link, but again is pretty much only himself and, you know, like the strength Raccoon and Gildo. So there are links that are very difficult to get, and so it's like you can't really just run him on teams and think he's gonna come out on top. He doesn't really necessarily work like that, but at the same time, you know, he's still worth the time and the investment. And even on Corroded Body and Mind, he still has a decent linking partner in the form of Physical Dabura. So at the end of the day, he can still technically function on every category. So he's looking really solid, and he is a spectacular unit. But like I say, one of the coolest things about him is that he can link with himself. But Strength, Raccoon and Gildo are a great option. He links with himself. Jason Berta, the tech free-to-play LR, is a good unit. You've got the physical LR, who's a 4 key link unit, or a 4 link unit, which is strong. Maybe not the strongest, but it is very strong. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Ginyu. I think he's fantastic, and arguably he could be the very best TUR in the game. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he is. He's very strong and very impressive, and yeah, I just think he's awesome. So that's gonna be it for me. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did. Take care, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.